Welcome to the Barrel Room Podcast, your front row seat to the world of whiskey and bourbon. In every episode, we're pouring up something worth talking about. From small batch standouts to big label legends, we sip, review, and break it all down one pour at a time. We'll talk tasting notes, tell stories, give the occasional review on real life experiences, and every now and then bring in a special guest from the industry to share a pour and a conversation. This podcast is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors. Edward Jones, Chris Ridgick, Aged Wisdom, Bold Strategies. Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, crafted in honor, shared in remembrance. The Barrel Room Bourbon Club, pull up a chair, we're waiting for you on the inside. And Grillo's Chop and Barrel, where fine whiskey meets fine meat. So pull up a chair, have a pour, as we dive into this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast. This pour of the Barrel Room is brought to you by Edward Jones financial advisor Chris Ridgick. Just like a well-aged whiskey, a solid financial plan takes time, patience, and the right guidance. Whether you're investing for the future or planning your next big barrel pick, Chris is here to help you build a strategy that fits your goals and your lifestyle. So let's raise a glass to smart decisions and visit edwardjones.com/Chris Ridgick to get started. And now, for this week's episode of the Barrel Room Podcast, let's welcome our hosts, Kenny Gales and Bryan Biscayne. Welcome to the Barrel Room Podcast. I'm your co-host, Bryan Biscayne, alongside co-host Kenny Gales.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see you again, man.
Yeah, you too, man. I feel like it's been a while.
It's been a while. I mean, we didn't. Sorry for the. Supposed to release one last Friday, but he was traveling, I was traveling, and I had to have surgery on my elbow, and so we're going to be a week behind. But that's all right. Things happen in life, but glad to be here tonight.
Yeah, I was in Michigan visiting some family over the 4th of July, and I know you were just.
I was in Hawaii with my entire wife's family, 20 of us. Mm-hmm. Made the trek over to Hawaii.
Yeah. What island did you go to?
Went to Maui first, and then Oahu second. And I don't care if I ever go back to Oahu. It's like California on steroids, basically. Sure. Yeah. I did not like Oahu.
Haven't been, but heard it's very commercialized.
Very commercialized.
We always go to Maui. We go there quite a bit. We're heading back in March of next year, so we're excited. Finally, since we've had kids, it's been 6 years since we've been. So
yeah, I mean, I'd never been to Hawaii in my life. My in-laws and my wife have been several times, and they say Maui is radically different since the fires of is it Lahaina? Lahaina, and you can definitely see where the fires happened.
Sure.
But they were telling me that like before the fire, which was August of 23, like I guess Lahaina was like there was a road maybe that was full of like bars and restaurants and all that. Mm-hmm. That's gone.
Yeah.
And so my only quote unquote complaint of Maui would be that there's not a ton to do. Like from a bar and restaurant. I mean, there's enough.
Yep.
There's enough.
Mm-hmm. I mean, really what Kanapali and South Kihei has a bunch of stuff. And then other than that, I mean, you can go up towards going up the road to Hana. There's a couple things on the way up there, but other than that, there's not a ton.
Yeah.
But the one cool thing is you go from palm trees to pine trees, from one on the island to the other.
Yes,
so
it is.
And, they got Maui Brewery and they do have
we ate there twice, by the way.
Did you?
They had the best margarita called a Lehigh Mui margarita or something like this.
Is that Polynesian or what?
I don't know. It's apparently it's Hawaiian where they grow this Lehigh Mui, which is like a powder. It's like a plum powder. Okay. Or I know this, I just ordered some on Amazon because they were that good that my wife and I tried to recreate them last night. But they're unreal. And so we went there to Maui Brewery Company twice, actually.
Did you have any Mai Tais?
Had one Mai Tai at Duke's.
Okay. I've been to Duke's.
In Maui there. Mm-hmm. We stayed at the Western Vacation Club is where we stayed at. It was beautiful. I love Maui. Only other complaint I would say is everything shuts down at 8:00.
Yeah.
So like one night I went down to the pool bar to get a drink at like 9:15. It was closed. Sure. I was like, "What time do you all close around here?" It's like 8:00. I'm like, I just got my kids in bed at 8:00. You know what I mean? Like, so just had to go to the gas station, get some liquor, and come back. And I did get a bottle of Hawaiian whiskey that was like made in Maui somewhere. And it wasn't bad. I was actually kind of shocked. It was not bad at all.
We'll have to get that name and then on the next podcast, talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Hawaii and Michigan on the next episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was able to visit a couple cool distilleries that I visit every year, Grand Traverse and also Traverse City Whiskey Company. Both
Yeah, you're always been a big fan of both of those places. Yep.
Love it.
I think you got me something from somewhere.
I did. It's actually a rye whiskey finished in a maple cask. So
A rye whiskey. Obviously, Kenny doesn't know me that well.
Oh, I sent you the picture and you said I'll take the maple cask finish.
Yeah, I did. I know. I'm just kidding.
But anyway, so how's your elbow?
It hurts.
Hurts?
It hurts. Yeah. For those who don't know, I've been suffering with a severe case of what they call tennis elbow since March of last year. I had 4 cortisone shots in it, 2 months of physical therapy. Nothing could fix it. And the doctor was like, well, it's surgery time. So I went in last Thursday. Shout out to Ryan Ferris for picking me up at 5 a.m. And I wasn't even awake yet. Went to surgery last Thursday at 5:30 and just slowly recovering. But I hope it gets there. I mean, I can go to about there before I start feeling pain. So I can't really straighten it much, but I can't lift really anything. My poor wife, I was telling you about this earlier. Shout out to my wife, man. I don't know how many husbands can say this, but my wife, we put a playground in for the kids and surprised them. When we got home from Hawaii, there was a playground in the backyard built. And my wife over the weekend went and bought 88 stones, like landscaping stones.
Mind you, about probably 110 with the heat index currently. Yes. It's nasty outside. So,
and then 55 bags of rubber mulch. In one afternoon, laid all 88 stones, put down all the landscaping tarping or weed barrier, and then 55 bags of mulch. I was like, wow, babe. Yeah. Now she didn't move much the next day, but she rocked it. She rocked it. So, but yeah, good to be back.
That's cool. Yeah, glad to have you back. Glad to be back. So
back in the grind of things.
So back to the grind. Anyway, so
yeah.
If you're listening to this show, chances are you know your way around a good pour. But if you're ready to take your whiskey journey to the next level, let me introduce you to the Barrel Room Bourbon Club. This is more than just a club. It's a private community of bourbon lovers, collectors, and industry pros who come together to share rare bottles, swap stories, and connect over what we all love most: great whiskey and great people. At the Barrel Room Bourbon Club, we're building real relationships with fellow enthusiasts and with the folks shaping the future of the whiskey world: distillers, blenders, even the occasional barrel pick. Yeah, it's all happening behind those doors. I've seen it firsthand. Some of the best conversations and best pours happen in that room. Old friends, new friends, legendary whiskey. So if you're ready to be part of something special, visit barrelroombourbonclub.com to learn more and apply. That's barrelroombourbonclub.com. We'll see you inside.
We got a special episode for you guys tonight. Kenny and I have been chatting over the last couple of weeks, and I know we've had a lot of guests on here as of late, and our intention was never to have a guest on in every single episode. It was always to just provide our thoughts on different bourbons and ryes and whiskeys throughout the time, and then also kind of share like real life experiences and things that we've dealt with or that we want to review and talk about. And so we're going to do a little bit of that tonight, but also we'll have some more things coming up, like we mentioned in the future here. We're going to talk more about, Kenny's trip to Michigan, a little more of my trip to Maui. We did a golf trip last May, or a couple months ago in May that we want to talk about. It was phenomenal.
Yep, at Weekapaw.
Yeah, it was fantastic. That's in Scottsdale, Arizona. So all different things like that. But tonight, we're going to talk about the Barrel Room Bourbon Club. So if you've been living under a rock, you have not seen that we have also started a bourbon club out here in Lake St. Louis / Wentzville for really anybody. Like, Kenny and I were talking about this earlier. Like, you don't have to know whiskey or like own 100 bottles or even, you don't have to. It can be as simple as like, hey, I like an occasional old fashioned, or I like an occasional Manhattan or something like that. But you kind of want to know more about it, and you kind of want to make friends, even if you don't drink whiskey. Like one of my good friends, Ed, who came to our last bottle share, he doesn't drink whiskey. He drinks tequila.
Zero whiskey. Yes.
But he came, had a lot of fun. There's no cost, right? And so we're going to talk a little bit deeper about the Bourbon Club tonight. And then also we're going to also share some really cool, rare character picks that we, Kenny and I have got over the last couple of months, and just kind of give you a taste of those. So.
Yeah, I mean, it touched back on what you're talking about, Ed. A lot of the guys, still come and you can order beers, or you can even order any other cocktail you want. The big thing is to be able to have fellowship within a spirit, not to be intimidated. not to have, you don't have to have a certain level of experience. You can be novice. You can be, 12 years in. You could have one bottle. You could have 150. You could have 700 bottles. The whole goal is just to get together, to network, to meet each other, to have fellowship in the spirit, essentially.
Exactly right.
Is the big thing for me. And I know over the last couple of weeks or even over the last month, and talking with people, they know that I'm in whiskey. I have a brand or this or that. And I try to tell them, they're like, hey, I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I want to come to your club because I don't have anything to provide for you. Like, I only got like a, low end whiskey, or what should I bring? And I'm like, honestly,
Bring anything.
you could just show up. We usually have 30 to 40 bottles sitting on the table. It's a free for all. You can pour samples at anyone you want. Everybody's nice. Everybody's friendly. And if not, just go to the store and pick up a bottle or grab what you have that you like to drink every day. I mean, people will still drink it. I mean, and still have a good time. That's the goal. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, Kenny and I are both members of the St. Louis Bourbon Society down on this Main Street in St. Charles. That's a club where I feel like you got to have a little bit of knowledge and also want to gain extreme knowledge into the the spirit. It's a phenomenal club. Don't get me wrong, phenomenal club. We're still members. We will be members forever. Our thought was when we created, there really wasn't anything out here in the West Side, right? Mm-hmm. For us to get down to Main Street, St. Charles, it's about a 30-minute drive. He has little kids. I got little kids. I can't waste an hour in road time when I'm, to be down there every night or every week or every month for that matter. And so our thought was, let's create something out here in the West Side and shoot, we've got members from the St. Louis Bourbon Society that are members of our club. Mm-hmm. And it's just a place to network, get together, and it's not strict. I should say our only real rule is you have to be invited to the club to come, right? So this is your invite. If you watch this podcast, you can shoot Kenny and I a message, me a message. This is your invite to check us out.
Go to the website. Sign up there and
Barrel Room Bourbon Club .com. Our next bottle share is actually in 2 weeks, so not this Thursday, but the following Thursday. I guess it's the 31st of July, and we always meet at the Post, which is also like a welcoming environment. And to your point,
and I was just saying, not to change it up a little bit or cut into it, but I think this week on the 24th, we actually have a Behind the Barrel event. So now we're going to start bringing in master distillers or whiskey brand owners to come in and tell their story and sample their product, and you can purchase and hang out and still have the fellowship with the guys. I know in the beginning we're going to do like a half hour, like a social half hour while the brand's setting up their table, getting ready to do their whole spiel and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be a really cool addition to the club that's coming up. And I think we're planning on doing that once a quarter.
Once a quarter is kind of the initial thought. So we have a first one July 24th. When this episode airs, it'll be Friday, July 25th. But Lake St. Louis, Lake Forest Country Club here in Lake St. Louis has offered up their facility to us. Good thing is they're not charging us anything. And so it's a minimal cost. It's $10 a person to come. Again, you got all sorts of different access to all these different whiskeys that like in this case, Blacksmith Distillery. Russ is coming to talk about his brand, and they just won some awards, got some great products. And you get to try those for $10 to come, or you can sign up to be a single barrel member of the Barrel Room Bourbon Club for $10 a month, and you get to come for free. So you really get pay for it with one event, essentially, and we're going to do those quarterly, and we got some really exciting things as far as brands that we have already talked to that we think are interested in kind of doing something like that with us. So that'll be also fun.
Yeah, it will be. And to touch on, single barrel membership, is also with that, the $10 a month includes when we do our bottle share at the end of the month, the last Thursday of the month, we do a blind bottle raffle, which is valued over $100 a bottle every month. So then as long as you're a member of the club and you're a $10 or member of the single barrel and you're paying $10 a month, you'll get entered into that blind bottle raffle every month for free. So essentially, if you win, that bottle is valued over $100. You just paid for your whole year's worth of membership. So that's kind of a cool deal. And thankfully for our sponsor, Gorilla's Shop and Barrel, Mike Gorilla has generously helped us out with a sponsorship there and helping out getting us that bottle for the blind bottle every single month.
Yeah. And last month, Michael Woosley, you're listening to the show, you won. He knows. I still got you got your bottle over here because I haven't seen you.
What did he win?
He won a Frank August 35, which was $130, $140 a bottle. He paid $10. He pays $10 a month to be a part of the single barrel membership, and he just paid for his membership for the whole year, basically. And like Kenny said, every bottle will be over $100. And you get some really cool perks, not just being a part of the blind bottle raffle. You get discounts on our website. We have a store on there where we sell hats, we sell t-shirts. We got aged and or bottle flights that are on there. You get 10% off of that, and you also then earn reward points for every time you buy something. You get a certain percentage of points back to use to buy more products.
And then when you join the single barrel membership, you get a glass, a sticker, and then what else do we add in there?
Glass, sticker, and something else.
We do a t-shirt.
Yeah, maybe it was a t-shirt. Yeah, I think it was a t-shirt. Yeah, so it's on the website, but if you go to barrelroombourbon.com, it's on there. But yeah, I mean, you sign up, that's what you get, is our thank you for, being a part of the club.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about some other exciting things we got coming up, like maybe bottle?
Yeah. So since I do have a brand, we are going to be potentially doing a barrel pick coming up, and I think, I haven't talked to him about this yet, but I think a cool thing would be is with the members that are signed up for the single barrel is raffle off like 4 members to come help do that barrel pick with us and choose the barrel for the bottle for their club.
Correct.
So yes, the exciting thing coming up is we will be doing a barrel pick. We don't know, from where yet or what, but that's all stuff to come. And I think we've got some really cool barrels that are lined up that we have ideas and stuff like that have good age statements on it. And
yeah, so it'll be before the end of the year when we do this. Obviously, there'll be announcements all over our Facebook page as well as on the website. But I'm really excited about that. Thankful to Fallen Brothers Craft and Spirits for allowing us the opportunity to do that. We wouldn't be able to do that without the brand and Kenny. But it's kind of cool, like to be able to say, hey, my club bought this barrel. We bottled it. It'll have, specific artwork and stuff for the club, but also Fallen Brothers, because obviously they're the ones sponsoring this.
We'll be on there minimally just to show that, it's through us. And I think the main thing is the customization for the Barrel Room Bourbon Club to have, their image and possibly a challenge going on there if we decide to go that direction, which will be cool for club members or anybody else who wants to be a part of that and have a coin. Also, I think one of the coolest things about it that, what our brand does is people can basically commission us or ask us to do barrel picks to kind of raise money. And we've done one in the past for Fire Captain Tommy Shy where we raised $5,000 for his family. And we're actually getting ready to release one in September for Officer Nate Spees. We're going to give $5,000 back to him. So kind of to rewind a little bit, I think with this barrel pick through our bourbon club, I think we're going to have the opportunity to give, $5,000 back to a charity, an organization, or even somebody who's struggling financially or with some sort of cancer or anything like that. We're here to help. And that's the goal. That's the mission behind our brand. And I believe it's the mission behind our bourbon club as well. So
absolutely. One of the things and if you guys know about Fallen Brothers that I've always thought was just genius, but also just speaks to the brand, is every bottle that's sold from Fallen Brothers, a portion of sales goes back to either a family or Backstoppers. And if you don't know what Backstoppers is, I highly suggest you look into it. Backstoppers is essentially an organization that when a hero dies in line of duty, they bring money to the family to cover things like mortgage expense and power, maybe kids' tuition or something along those lines, because obviously one income has been drastically hurt from that. And so just a great organization here in the St. Louis area. And so, going in line with Fallen Brothers, our picks there's going to be money going back to some charity or like you said, a family. I know there's a family here in Winsville right now that we're, going to try to talk to, see if there's an option there for them. But again, just give you an opportunity to have a great bottle, great experience, but also give back to your community.
Yeah, exactly. And not to continue to talk about my brand, because that's not what this is about. But, we also have the opportunity to do for different types of organizations too, that are kind of not necessarily, what our brand typically does. But we recently, a marketing company reached out to us called Punchline Productions, and they wanted to basically raise money for Starlight Initiative, which is an organization that helps rebuild communities. So when he came into me and asked me to do this, I was like, it's a no-brainer, because we just had those recent storms in St. Louis, and this company is going to come in and help basically essentially rebuild St. Louis. So I was like, awesome, let's do it. Let's give $5,000 back to that organization. And and make it happen. So,
Yeah.
and Corey is very appreciative of it, and we're looking forward to that one as well. So I know it's a little bit different than what we typically do, but
Still, give it back to people who need it.
I know, and with Texas and the floods and stuff like that, apparently they're going to start helping out with that and fund some of that stuff too. So
we were in Hawaii when that happened. That was sad. I mean,
it's devastating. That's what it is. We some people from our fire district got deployed there on Task Force 1 and stuff like that to go help out. So
well, there was, what was it, a firefighter or was it a Coast Guard? Somebody saved I don't know how many people.
Mm-hmm.
And he was his first year being, I think it was Coast Guard.
Yeah,
he was a rescue swimmer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, that dude deserves a Presidential Medal of Freedom or something.
Did you hear about that? I don't even, it's nobody that's affiliated with a kind of a task force or anything like that, but that dad that went out and rescued 3 people in the ocean that were drowning, and he rescued them, but he ended up drowning himself, and he was the father of 3 kids. So
no, I didn't hear.
I just recently saw that. I can't remember if it was California or I think it was California, but that was holy crap, man.
Yeah. And at a time no matter what political aisle you live on, at a time you want some good news or something cool like that, you have stories about these people who really need help, and that they're out there risking their lives. And this gentleman sounds like he did risk his life to save others. But
it's comforting to know there's still good people like that out there. Even he sacrificed his life, and now his children don't have a father, which I could never imagine that with my kids.
Yeah.
So
agreed. All right, well, let's pause a little bit about the Bourbon Club. We'll come back to some additional things we're going to talk about here as the episode goes on. But I'm thirsty.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, we're going to start tonight with my very first Rare Character bottle.
Okay.
This came from Grillo.
Is this the one that Zach?
Yeah, this is the one that I walked into Grillo.
And
Zach, if you're listening to this, or Mike Grillo, if you're listening to this, you both looked at me like I had 6 heads when I said I wanted 3 bottles of this, acting like I didn't know what it was. When really I was just trying to get a bottle for Kenny and for Keith Coyler, who's also in our Bourbon Club, also is in Grillo's Bourbon Club.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you can't do that. This is a very rare bottle. I'm like, I know it is. That's why I'm trying to get it for my buddies.
Mm-hmm.
So, Zach, if you're listening, you remind me of that. I remind you of that all the time. But it was my first Rare Character bottle. I had tried some with Kenny previously. And then when we hit the jackpot in Arizona when we went down there, man.
We did.
We hit the jackpot.
I should post that picture, man. Everything in front of you was lined with Rare Character bottles. And they literally let me sample everything. And that place was it was called The Pitch, I believe.
It was it Pitch?
It was The Pitch, yeah. Because there's 2 of them.
Yep.
Within
10 minutes. Yeah, 10, 20 minutes.
10 minutes. We was 30 minutes from Scottsdale, so then it probably, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we went to the first one, which was jackpot.
It was.
We went to the second one to see if they had anything, and they didn't have a single. Didn't think they had any Rare Character.
I don't think so. Is this
one? They had one.
This one?
Yeah, so that one came from the Pitch, the Exceptional Series.
I ended up with the other one.
Yep. But then Grillo had some of those not too long ago as well.
He also had some Brook Hill.
I saw that.
And Keith actually won that.
What?
Yeah.
Keith, that better be at the bottle share next week, or we're going to have to talk to my friend.
Yes.
I saw he had that. I was in Hawaii, and I couldn't get up there into the raffle or anything like that. And I know Mike, love you, Mike, but if I messaged him, be like, here, I've been money, throw me in the raffle, he'd be like, not happening, bro.
Yeah.
So, but wow, and he won more bottles than just that one. Wasn't there 3 bottles?
Well, he won the option to choose, and I think he picked. Well, you're not going to pick the Brook Hill, and it's somebody commented on the comments, why would I choose the Brook Hill? It's a 6-year, blah blah. And then I think my girl commented, well, if you know, you know. I was like, that is epic. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
So,
but this one is batch number 1. There's quite a few of these out there.
Yep.
But really,
I know there's batch 2 and 3 as well. Batch 2 is a rye, which I would have went with the rye, and I think Zach went with the rye as well.
If my doctor's watching this, you didn't see me just pour that because that hurt like a son of a.
Yes.
So you get to pour from now on.
So what do we got here? This is 119.26 proof. It's a straight bourbon.
That's good.
Shout out to Pete and Pablo for the great products they make at Rare Character. And not to tease you a little bit, but we potentially have a collaboration pick coming up with them as well with Fallen Brothers. So look out for that one to come towards November, December if we end up going with it. So
so got this. Only got 1 bottle, unfortunately, but it's sweet and good.
Yep.
And it does not drink 119 proof. And if you go to Grillo's, you get one of his burgers or his brats, or he has in my opinion, the best steaks in the area. Drinking that, my wife and I had some fillets one night when I opened this.
Pair that with
it was unreal.
Oh yeah,
it was unreal.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he does a good job up there. Get a little stone fruit.
A little stone fruit.
Oh man,
I don't get none of that.
I got a little tiny front end.
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Now my wife would be sitting down here saying, "Oh, here you idiots go talking about front end of the mouth, back end of the mouth, left cheek, right cheek."
I was gonna say something, but I'll keep it PG.
She makes fun of us a lot.
Yeah, it's got a nice little nose.
It's good. It's really good. It's probably, of the 4 bottles up here, no, I can't say it's my favorite. That Exceptional Series is by far my favorite, which is why we're not going to sample tonight, because there might be 2 pours left in that bottle.
Yeah,
I'm not going to empty it. But this Yellow Top is also extremely good. And for a rye, it's a high rye, right? The K45?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really good too.
Yeah.
And you know me, I don't like rye, but it's good. But this is very sweet, very smooth,
Sweet,
vanilla,
thick, caramel,
very oily.
Mm-hmm. I get a little nutty towards the end. It just it lingers. It's sitting.
But it's like
it makes the tongue just keeps moving, you know.
Yeah, it does. But it's
because the flavors just keep going.
Yeah. So this is our limited batch bourbon, is a marriage of some of the best barrels we have encountered in our journey through the rickhouses of America. A combination of flavor profiles that achieve greater complexity, depth, and flavor together than on their own. And I would agree with that.
Yeah, that tasting we did at the Sugar Cube Club was one of the best tastings I've ever done.
Yeah.
With Rick Character.
With Rick Character, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm sure any of those members of the Bourbon Society could attest to that. That was awesome. I wish you could have made that one.
Yeah, I was, unfortunately, I think I was out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I was at. But going back to the Bourbon Club, Barrel Room, we talked about, we have a website, barrelroombourbonclub.com. Like I said, you can go on there. You can become a member for free. We have 3 levels of membership. We have free, which means you're welcome to show up and come to our events that we have. You're welcome to have camaraderie, and you get invited to the private Facebook group that we have, where there's always people posting stuff in there weekly of what bottles they're buying, where they're buying it, things along those lines. That's free. Anybody can sign up for that as long as you've been invited. Again, this is your invitation to join.
We're on social media, so if you just want to get on Facebook and type in Barrel Room Bourbon Club and like us, share us, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. So,
and you can also go to the private page and see if there's 84 members on the private Facebook page. If you know anybody in there, shoot them a note and be like, "Hey, can I join, or tell me about this?" Trust me, they'll be more than happy to chat up with you and talk to you about it. This club's going on now, 3-4 months, and it's growing pretty quickly, well. I mean, just from a social media perspective, last month we had over 35,000 hits on our Facebook and website, which is incredible. To have 35,000 people look at it. So
exactly.
We've got the free membership tier, which we call just the Barrel Room Bourbon Club membership. And then we have a middle tier called Bottle and Bond, which is $1. If you can't afford $1 a month,
$12 a year.
$12 a year, no problem. We got the free one. If you want to pay $1 a month, what that gives you is, again, 10% off of all products that we push out. But it also helps support this podcast, frankly. So our time, this camera that we're looking into right now, all these lights we have set up, this microphone, computer, all that has a cost, right? And so the members that we have supporting us, that like what we're doing and appreciate what we're doing, it gives us $1 a month, and it's not a lot, but it, $12 a year. If you got a bunch of people doing that, it can help pay for new lights if that light burns out, or we need a new piece of equipment, or things along those lines. So that's the Bottle and Bond membership. Again, it's $1 a month. You get access to the club, as well as get discounts on anything we sell through the website. And then obviously the top of the line is our single barrel membership, which is $10 a month. And that gives you everything we talked about earlier, but it gives you discounts. It gives you into the blind bottle raffle every single month, free admission to all of the behind the barrel events.
It's going to give you the invite to our Christmas party at the end of the year.
Yeah, I was thinking we should do a pool party at the end of the year too, like in a pool season.
We do that. You got a pretty nice pool out there.
Yeah,
You just put a bar in. So
I gotta get that approved by the wife.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she's going 40 drunk whiskey men over here
Fair
swimming.
Ask for forgiveness later.
It might be a shit show.
Yeah. So, but I think, the goal would be do a Christmas party towards the end of the year, have all the single barrel members join in to give them a thank you and appreciation for being a part of the club and helping us grow it. Because ideally that's our end game, is to continue to grow this and to be able to do more cool things and put on festivals, do barrel picks, go maybe take a trip to Kentucky and do, jump on the trail and hit a couple of distilleries, and educate some of our guys. I think that would all be cool stuff. And
and to our, we made an earlier comment, and I just want to reiterate, like when Kenny and I started this club, I'm nowhere near an expert in any, like by any means. Kenny is the expert in my opinion. I'm like the novice, right? Like I have a lot of bottles up here, but that's just because I'm dumb and spend a lot of money. But if you put 3 of those bottles up here and made me taste them, could I tell you which bottle they were? No way in God's name could I do that. So again, it's just a place for fellowship and camaraderie and to learn what you like, what you don't like, right? I didn't know the difference between a rye and a bourbon when we started this podcast and this club.
Yeah.
I do now. I was like, we've talked about on the show, I was the guy that was like, whatever bottle was on the shelf that Friday night when I was growing up, I bought. And if it was on sale, I bought it, right? Usually it was like Maker's Mark or heck, my dad always talked about Tin High was the whiskey in his day. But it's just a fun place to come and hang out.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think getting in now is a good way to start learning and grow. And, him and I have some pretty big plans, probably within the next year or so-ish, correct me if I'm wrong. But, like I said, we always talked about, we love the Bourbon Society. We love Sugar Cube Club, which is the name of the club down there that Bourbon Society has in St. Charles. But we would love to bring a club out west, to kind of be closer to our place and do a similar concept where we got lockers and stuff like that. And, if you own a business or work from home, you can go to the club during the day and get your laptop out, work and have a pour and hang out and just, it's all about networking too. We want to help you grow at the same time that we grow. So that's the goal, Sunday football can be watched in our club, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we definitely got ideas for that. We've already got partners that we've talked to kind of about what that's going to look like. If you listen to this and, Adventure Unknown out in, I guess that's Fenton technically. Another great club. Another phenomenal club. It's not necessarily a whiskey or bourbon club, but just an incredible club. If you just check out Adventure Unknown, Scott Schlusser and his wife own that. And they've been great supporters of ours. We have also tried to be of them. They're looking to do something out here west, even St. Louis Bourbon Society. Do they, they may want to help launch one out here and have a St. Louis Bourbon Society too. So we're in the very, very beginning stages of all this. But it'd be super cool that if they wanted to do that, to be able to have the members could pay a little bit extra and have access to both facilities. Like say you're out this way, you can just check in with an app real quick at this one and hang out for a little bit, or the next night you're down that way in St. Charles or you live by there, you could go to the Bourbon Club down there. I think it would be super cool to have that. And also, obviously Mike Grillo, of course, is somebody else we're, on our agenda to talk to at some point. Whenever we get there, obviously there's no reason to chat about it yet because we're not there yet. But, I don't know if you all know this, but right next to Grillo Chop and Barrel, I think we've talked about it many times on the show, but he's got Birdies and Barrel, which is a really, really awesome facility. And I know he has hopes to open another one at some point, bigger. And so, there might even be a spot there for us to, partner with somebody. So just beginning stages, but I guess our point in bringing that up is just, we have a vision for the future where this club goes. And it won't happen without people like you watching this episode and supporting us, but also, I say this all the time. This isn't like Kenny's club and my club. Like this is Keith Koyo's club. This is Zach Giesi's club. This is Russ Broker's club. I mean, anybody who's a member, it's their club. It's not ours. We just are the ones spearheading it, but it's the members club. It's not, we take feedback from like everybody. Keith has provided us a ton of feedback on things that we should try or not try or do. Yeah. That's been a great success. So it's your club that we're just there to kind of spearhead, because there's got to be somebody spearheading, otherwise it would just die on the vine. Yeah, exactly. I do agree with that. So,
All right, let's pour up. You want to go yellow top or K45?
Ooh.
Maybe we should go K45
Let's
and
go
back to a
K45.
bourbon.
Yep, I like that idea.
Will you
So,
pour
yep.
since
I will, Gimpy.
my elbow about fell into 2 pieces there when I did that.
I sure will.
It's weird. Like
Ow.
fuck you. It's weird. Like I can do certain movements and I have no issue, and then like I'll go to lift a bottle like that and it drops. And I'll tell you, before I had this surgery, guys, I could not pour my own milk into my cereal with my right hand. I had to use my left hand, or my wife had to do it. That's how bad my tennis elbow had gotten.
Right hand.
When I was in Hawaii, I had the opportunity to play golf one time with my father-in-law and all my brother-in-laws, and we played. What's the Bay course at Kapalua?
Yeah,
Kapali.
No, Kapalua.
Kapalua. Yes, sorry. There's also a course at
There's Plantation.
Kapali. Yeah.
Oh, Kanapali.
Kanapali.
Yeah.
That was where
we played Kapalua, right?
we played Kapalua, but there was Kanapali had a resort, our golf course right next to our resort.
Mhm.
My father-in-law played that a couple times. We played the other one.
Which one did he like better?
Well,
Did you say
I mean, obviously Kapalua,
Yeah.
but
way nicer.
we played Bay. We didn't play Plantation.
Plantation's freaking nice too.
So here's my thing on the Bay course, and I'm probably getting into next episode, but just real quick. It was expensive, $250 to play. Okay.
I would have thought a little more. But...
Plantation was $500.
Yeah, okay.
And we had my nephews who are like 16 years old. Some are okay, and some shouldn't even have a golf club in their hand. No offense, Will. And the course was not in great shape.
It wasn't.
No. I was like, the views were unreal.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost every hole, you had the ocean and the bay in the background.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it was gorgeous. And there's a hole kind of like at Pebble Beach, if you've ever played Pebble Beach, that literally comes out into the ocean. And you got ocean all around three areas of the green. Mm-hmm. And gorgeous. But it was not in good shape. Like it was maybe like Links of Dardenne shape.
Oh man.
And when I mean like fairways weren't great, the roughs were awful, the greens were in good shape. And my father just said this time of year it's very, very tough out there for golf out there, which it is in Arizona too, for that matter. But
yeah,
I was not thrilled with the shape of the course. But I will say, I had the pleasure of playing golf since I was 5, and I played competitively. I played some really, really nice courses. I would put the views of that Bay course up against several.
I believe it. Yep.
It was gorgeous.
That's depressing to hear that, though.
What sucked was the 40-mile-an-hour wind gust, which we'll talk about next episode because I got some stories for you on that.
Right. Yeah. So.
All right. So we got St. Louis Bourbon Society. Shout out.
St. Louis Bourbon Society and Maui's Liquors. Maui's Liquor picked this one. And,
damn, we haven't talked to Joe in a while. Joe Maui, shout out, buddy.
This is 122.56 proof and 7-year, 2-month is the age statement. And it is 51% corn, 45% rye, and 4 malted barley.
And if you can see the picture on there, which is like a sunset,
yep,
it's exactly what it tastes like. It's like, at least to me, it's like it's got a little bit of citrus to it, and
a lot of citrus.
I couldn't have picked a better label.
Those guys did a great job.
100%. Immediately, I get citrus. Immediately. Yep. Orange, lime-ish. Mm-hmm. Look at the oil in my glass.
Legs on it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was a really good pick.
It's a really good pick. And for those who listen and know I don't like rye, even though it's a high rye, it's delicious.
Definitely beats out batch number 1 for me. I don't know about you, but
I don't know if I could do that.
Definitely thoroughly enjoy it. I'm not sure, but they may have more at Maui's Liquor. So if you're interested in picking one up, I would go check them out in Cottleville. They could potentially have more. If not, they got other picks and great bottles. So Maui's Liquor always has
a ton
of stuff.
Been to Maui's Liquor in Cottleville, first off, Joe is one of the nicest human beings in the
is.
world.
Yep.
And got a great selection of bourbon. I don't know how many SKUs they got. I know Grillo's got like 200, but I got to imagine they're at that, if not maybe a tad more. I don't know. Obviously, Grillo's has also got, the chop side of it. So he's got the meats and the stuff like that, but whereas Maui's just straight liquor.
Yeah, and Maui's works with the Rack House right next door, which is another good place to drink bourbon at, and also have cigars and food. They got good fine dining there, so I would check them out as well.
Yeah, speaking of cigars, if you listen to the next episode on this, we're going to talk more about Hawaii and Michigan. I got to give a shout out to Lit. They hooked me up with some cigars for Hawaii.
Really?
And Brian Sire in particular, it was there was one cigar in particular I'm going to share with you guys that was like insane.
I'm curious to know how.
It was so good. Like, I need to call Brian, but like, I need a box of this. It was that good. And I literally woke my wife up when I came to bed that night because I sat out on the balcony and watched the ocean, came back to bed, woke her up, and I was like, I just found a cigar that I absolutely loved.
Sure.
It was incredible. But that's next episode.
And I mean, if you haven't heard that episode yet, we did one with Lit Cigar Lounge, and I think that was the last episode we just did, and we paired a cigar with each bourbon that we tasted. So go back and check that out if you were looking for any ideas on pairing cigars with whiskey. So it was killer. I know we did Buzzard Roost, Old Forester, and Nobleton. So
I got the Old Forester down there. And Nobleton's was really good too.
Yeah. I know
that was the Planters, right?
You bought just the Old Forester one?
And then I bought the Elijah Creek Private Barrel.
Yeah, that's right.
Did we review that night?
Well, we had that before the podcast.
Yeah.
So we tried that one. So we ended up purchasing a couple that we liked, and
we even got a little specialty in there, but we'll save that for next episode.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, whoever picked this did a killer job. I think Zach Geesey was part of this.
He was part of it. I'm sure Andrew was part of it. James might have been a part of it. So kudos to you guys. You guys did a great job.
Incredible job. Yeah, that's a great bottle. It's a great summer whiskey. It's not like too.
It's crazy because it's high proof. So you just want a little lower proof for the summer while you're out there sipping.
Yeah, it's great.
This would have been perfect with that cigar from Brian on the beach in Maui.
It would have been.
I mean,
I'm going to throw a challenge real quick to anybody listening or watching this. If you can legally tell me, meaning I won't get arrested by TSA, if I'm allowed to bring a 3-ounce Asian ore glass through security as a carry-on onto the plane, you will get your name into this next month's raffle for the blind bottle. Because several people have told me you can. And when I asked the TSA checkpoint person when I flew to Hawaii, he said, absolutely not.
Oh, really?
No liquor is allowed through here. Now, maybe that's because I told him it was liquor. But if I put liquor in here and put it in my backpack, would they stop me? Will they catch it? Could I get in trouble? I don't know. Your brother's the one who
could have been it.
Your brother's the one who told me, like, look, I'm going to take this on vacation because it's 3 ounces and 3.4 ounces is allowed through.
Yeah.
And he might be right. But if they find that it's whiskey in there instead of water or shampoo, like what's the challenge? What do they do with that? So I decided not to risk my $49 bottle flight because I would have had to throw it in the trash can. And then 4 of these filled with good whiskey.
Oh, man.
I was like, I'm just not going to risk it. I'm not going to do it. And so I decided just to ask the guy.
Okay.
So like so we're clear in TSA pre-check. And so the TSA pre-check lady looks at your boarding pass and all that. It was a gentleman. I said, I got to ask you a really random question real quick. I said, if I brought a 3-ounce glass of whiskey through here, which is under the 3.4 ounces, am I allowed to go through? He goes, no, absolutely not. And then he took the next person. I didn't get to elaborate.
Could have been the alcohol.
It could have been. I don't know the rules on that. So here's your challenge. If you listen to this episode and you know the answer to that and you can prove it to me, your name goes into this month's blind bottle raffle.
Sweet. Like it.
I just came up with that out of my ass.
I'm already entered, so.
You're out of it, I guess. And Paul Gales, so are you, buddy. You can't be in twice, man.
Yeah. Let's try it.
All right.
In every firehouse, every patrol car, every ambulance, and every military unit, there's a bond forged in courage, sealed by sacrifice. At Fallen Brothers Crafted Spirits, we raise a glass to the heroes who never made it home. Crafted in honor, shared in remembrance. Each bottle of our handcrafted whiskey tells a story of bravery, of brotherhood, of lives lived in service. And with every pour, you're giving back. Because a portion of every bottle goes directly to organizations supporting the families of fallen first responders right here in our area. To the ones who answered the call, to the ones who still do, and to those we'll never forget, Fallen Brothers, Crafted Spirits. Raise one. Remember them. Available now. Drink with honor. Support with heart.
Well, our final bottle for the night, as we round out this episode, is a bottle that I got to give Craig Brewer
Yes.
a shout out for. So, but I also would like to kick him in his dick because he got this for Kenny. Kenny told me how good it was. I ran up the next day and they had one bottle left. I finally got it. And Craig, you didn't think of me. So appreciate that, Craig, if you're watching.
Hey, easy guy.
What?
Your arm.
Oh,
I'll
good.
pour that for you.
I was able to hold it with no pain. But as soon as I went to pour, it would hurt.
I don't want to hear you bitching later.
Trust me, my wife listens to me every night.
I know she does.
I have milked this thing.
I'm sure
I have milked it, and I don't know how much longer I can milk it.
What do we got there?
So this is 75-21-4 on the mash bill. It was distilled in 2016, bottled in 2025. So it's an 8-year, 10-month, 122.6 proof. And it's killer. I mean, It is killer.
It's absolutely killer.
So that's a pick through the wine and cheese place in Creve Court.
Yep.
Is where I got this bottle at. They have a second location somewhere, I think.
Yeah. Maybe Clayton.
I don't know where it's at, but I think they have a second location.
Mm-hmm.
But I walked in there looking for that bottle. And I asked the guy at the front desk, do you have any more? He's like, no, we're out. I'm like, okay. So I walked down the aisle. I looked at literally every single bottle they had, and I got to the very end of the aisle, and there was one bottle hidden behind a different rare character rye bottle that I didn't want. And I was like, I went to the register. I went to the register and checked out. He goes, where'd you find that at? I was like, it was behind another bottle. He goes, somebody was trying to hide that.
Yep.
He goes, because we didn't have record that we even had money.
Wow.
I was like, well, I was there. So, and the crazy thing was, I got that bottle for $100.
Yeah.
Not overly expensive, and it's very good.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is. Absolutely phenomenal.
Now, didn't you say you thought this was like a Willet barrel?
Yeah, and that's the other thing I was going to say is if anybody knows how to crack the code on this particular bottle, that would be great because in my opinion, this drinks like a Willet Purple Top, and I'm a big proponent and a big fan
You
of
know
Willet.
more about that than I do, so I'll let you.
This barrel number is SBG 114. If anybody knows what that code means or where they got that one from, please share that and let us know because I would love to know because I got a wild hunch this is a Willet barrel of some sort. Willet wants to produce a consistent product across the board, and if there's some barrels that don't quite meet what they think is consistent to what they're doing, they'll put those off to the side and eventually, they'll allocate to somebody else as far as somebody they know or whatever else as far as a barrel pick. So my wild hunch is your character got this barrel from Willet, and it's fantastic because
It is.
I'm a huge Willet fan.
Yeah. Yep.
So I would guess the Willet Purple Top barrel.
Yep.
So if you find this barrel or this bottle out in the wild, buy it.
Yes, that's for sure.
100%.
Buy it. Yeah, great bottle. Actually, all three were great. And honestly, this exceptional series, in my opinion, beats all three of them. Again, I'm just savoring the last two pours I got of it because it's went quick.
I don't know. I might disagree. I think that wine and cheese pick
Beats it?
beats it. Yeah.
It could. I guess I haven't had them side by side, to be honest with you. But
I mean, those cinnamon notes from the Willet is phenomenal. The oak, the cinnamon, just all together just makes a phenomenal whiskey.
yeah, it's good. It's fantastic. So Well, we tried to keep this episode short, but it looks like we're at 46 minutes already. That's not terrible. Usually we're an hour and 15, somewhere in that area. But our goal tonight was just to tell you guys more about the Barrel Room Bourbon Club and make sure everybody's aware of kind of what we're trying to do and how, to Kenny's point, I couldn't have said it better. It's just about fellowship. My wife's got supper club and book club, and I was like, well, fuck, I need something. So we got Bourbon Club. Yeah. So if you're, living in the St. Louis region, maybe probably St. Charles County. I'm not sure you want to drive all the way out to the post in Lake St. Louis if you live in the city. Check us out. Go to barrelroombourbon.com. It's free to sign up. If you love it and you want to then increase your membership to $10 a month to get the additional perks that it brings, we welcome that and we appreciate that.
Or even if you're in a business where you travel a lot and you know you're going to be in town at some point around the area, just shoot us a message or email us or whatever and get a hold of us so that we can let you know it's the last Thursday of the month and maybe you can jump in and join it.
Yeah. And there's also opportunities down the road, guys, that we might do twice a month. It's not everybody can make that particular Thursday. Well, we look at offering an alternative date in the beginning of the month on a different day. Yep. I know there's certain people in our club that are members and are single barrel members that pay, but they'll never be able to make the meeting because they work on Thursday evening. So, there's all sorts of things that we're talking about and looking into, seeing how we can make everybody happy, of course.
Trying to adjust.
Yeah.
But I think maybe potentially we talked about, if as long as the post and whatever building or organization we're affiliated with lets us do it, is Thursday night football and kind of rescheduling, restructuring our time frame to start during Thursday night football so we can actually watch football and hang out and fellowship that way. So
so we had checked the post on that. I will say the post has been incredible to us. They have been a huge supporter and sponsor of this podcast and the Barrel Room Bourbon Club through and through. So again, a shout out to the Post Sports Bar and Grill. They have 4 locations: Maplewood, Fenton, Creve Coeur, and here in Lake St. Louis. So, and my wife loves the place, so I get the free ticket anytime I want to go there. She just absolutely loves it.
You guys go there once a week?
We usually go at least once a week. I guess a few weeks ago we were there 3 times, and Justin, who's the GM, was like, "What are you doing? A year again?" Yeah. And just a quick funny story: we got a new sponsorship that I'm going to announce here in a minute, and they sent the check to the Post, Lake St. Louis, with my name on it, Barrel Room Bourbon Club, to the Post. And so Joe, who's an owner, calls me. He's like, "You getting mail here now, man? Are you taking over the business or what?" I was like, "What? What was sent there?" And so he sends me a picture. I'm like, "Dude, don't throw that away. That is a check for our sponsorship." Yeah. And so went up there and got that from Justin. He's like, "Yeah, man, I was ripping through mail." And he goes, I was like, "Wait a minute. What's that dude's name from Ozarks?" I told you this story, but
from Ozark?
From the TV show Ozarks.
Oh, Marty Bird?
Marty Bird. He goes, "I thought we had a Marty Bird situation on our hands. You guys were money laundering through us." And I was like, no.
Yeah.
So,
to touch on that, I mean, if anybody owns a business or anything else and wants to sponsor the podcast or the Bourbon Club, we're always looking for that in any sort of way, so we can also promote you,
Yeah. And
do multiple different things.
And the sponsorship money goes towards helping the club, helping the podcast. It does not go into Kenny's pocket or my pocket. We do this because we enjoy it. We do this because we're trying to get back to people who like us, essentially.
Yeah, and to be transparent, him and I both pay the single barrel membership every single month. And we pull ourselves from the blind bottle raffle
every month
so that somebody else can win it. And to be honest with you, well, we don't pull ourselves, but I got drawn for the first bottle raffle that Mike Woosley won, and
I threw in the trash can.
He threw in he took my name out, and then we redrew because at that point, him and I, we want everybody else to enjoy it, everybody else to have the opportunity. I don't need the bottle,
You got 700.
I got plenty of them, and so anyway,
our point is, again, it's all about friendship and fellowship. As we wrap this up, I do want to thank Grill Chop and Barrel for their sponsorship. We appreciate that, Mike. Chris Ridgick, Edward Jones is our newest sponsorship, so you'll see him in the beginning of this episode. He is our main sponsor right now. He gave us, a nice size check to be a sponsor. Chris has been a friend of mine since I was literally 15 years old. I was working in a warehouse and he was a salesperson. We've always been great friends, and he is an Edward Jones advisor in Maryville, Illinois, but he services a lot of the St. Louis area. So Chris has really risen through Edward Jones. He services a lot of St. Louis Cardinals players, Blues players. He does a lot of professional athletes, even outside the St. Louis area, but is the most humble, down-to-earth guy you could ever meet. So if you have financial needs or you don't know what you're doing with your investments, reach out to him. He'll take you to dinner, talk to you for free, give you advice. He'll probably talk fishing. He'll probably talk hunting first. He might be wearing cowboy boots. He might be wearing rubber boots. He might drive in a truck. I don't know, but he's just a great guy. So again, check him out. Also, we got to thank Fallen Brothers Craft Spirits for their continued support for the show. Couldn't do it without them. And I think that's it, unless I missed anybody.
No, I think that's it.
That's
You
it.
did everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
So again, this episode is going to drop the day after our Behind the Barrel event, but next episode we'll talk about Behind the Barrel event, how it went. Again, shout out to Lake Forest Country Club for allowing us to have the facility. And we're also going to talk more about Hawaii and Traverse City and Michigan in the next episode. And we're going to have some new bottles to kind of sample and try out.
Yeah, we're going to try out some Traverse City Whiskey Company and Grand Traverse bottles. So
yeah, and I'm going to see if I can get that Hawaii bottle.
You should. That would be awesome.
Yeah, because it wasn't bad.
If not, get the name and stuff of it so that we can pass that along and see if anybody wants to try it. But,
yeah, for sure.
So,
all right, brother,
all right,
cheers.
Well, cheers. Thank you, guys.